Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we have the third and final installment of the Alpha Flight Omnibus by John Byrne Deep Dive. Cannot wait to share it with you. One of my favorite books of all time. Kind of sad that it is ending. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit like and let's get right into it. So I'll link parts 1 and 2 in the description if you want to watch them in chronological order, but here we go, starting with issue 22. I've been bitching the whole time, so I'll continue to bitch. One of my least favorite parts about this, even though I love the bigger size, I don't know if it was a cropping issue, perhaps. I'm not crazy about this not being full bleed. I don't know if it's to accommodate this design element of this red trim, because it's like trying to be like Canadian flag. But I'd rather have full bleed art. I love this cover. I'm sorry, but, maybe it's a trope. I don't know. But John Byrne, I mean, you have to give him credit for including all different shaped and sized people in his art. I feel like when he draws a crowd of people, they're always very, different and, recognizable. But he does have a lot of, obese women characters. I think there was a bearded lady when She-Hulk fought the Circus of Crime, who was, fat, and, here's Pink Pearl, what do you call it? And then he had Big Bertha and the Avengers West Coast, the Great Lakes Avengers. Anyway, I love the colors on this cover. I think it's so much fun. I love Aurora, even though she's being tortured. I love, even though it's miscolored, because her legs should be bare, but maybe that was for the cover's sake. I don't know. But her shoulders should be bare there too, as it's not there. I hate coloring mistakes like that on the cover. But I also think he made a mistake in the art. It's her new costume, so everyone was trying their best, I suppose. Jean-Paul with his head under her foot. He deserves it. I mean, what a view that must be. So Pink Pearl, ironically, was inspired by, any artist knows, the old school Pink Pearl erasers that is, the staple of any art supply kit. And interestingly, this is called Rub Out. And what do you do with a Pink Pearl eraser? You rub it out. I know Rub Out could probably be mistaken for something else, but it's very English to say rub out. You rub out the pencils. Anyway, we say erase in America. English say rub out. So there you go. The more you know, the more you grow. Written and drawn dramatically by John Byrne. Embellished enthusiastically by Bob Wiacek. Colored charismatically by Andy Yonkis. Lettered alphabetically by Rick Parker. Loving the Rick Parker letters, especially that rub out. I don't think we would have gotten that from somebody else. Edited diplomatically by Dennis O'Neill. Observed enigmatically by Jim Shooter. I mean, your sister shows up at the door in a purple bikini. What do you do? Jean-Paul, help me please, aidez-moi. I just like that they repeated what they were saying in French and English for the benefit of the reader, but they wouldn't do that, would they? I love the color, the monochromatic. Some of Andy Yonkis' colors are kind of crazy, but I don't know, at the time, this would have been printed in flexographic and, really horrifying. So this is the benefit of looking at this omnibus, like you see it, how it is supposed to look. On Cartoonist Kayfabe, they were kind of knocking Bob Wiacek's inks on John Byrne on She-Hulk. And, in the past, he wasn't one of my favorite inkers, but I feel like he always did a very faithful job to the pencils. And I feel like this is as close to the way the pencils look, and not necessarily the way, I always feel like he doesn't overly embellish. He does add line weight and stuff, but he definitely stays very consistent to the way it looks like it's penciled rather than inking it. So I think that's kind of what affects the aesthetic, but I really like it. I do. Especially on She-Hulk, to be honest with you. Aurora, what a nutbag. She totally went back and forth with, cutting her hair, putting clips in, trying to disassociate herself from her brother, selling him up the river, like just craziness. Such good soap opera. This would definitely be like an amazing Disney series. Maybe that's your answer. Oh my gosh, X-Men and Alpha Flight. If you have to have an artist not be John Byrne, like how amazing would it have been if John Byrne drew this? But we get Paul Smith, and I'll take it. Chris Claremont, writer. Paul Smith and Bob Wiacek, artists. Tom Orzechowski, letterer. Glynis Oliver, colorist. Ann Nesenti and Dennis O'Neill, editors. I remember being so excited. Paul Smith was absolutely one of my favorite X-Men artists, like life-changing. I really loved his art. So when he was announced as the artist for this X-Men Alpha Flight crossover, I was like blown away. Now it's fun to see this too because he did not, this is not the Paul Smith X-Men. This is like the John Romita Jr. costumed X-Men. Of course, classic Wolverine and Nightcrawler still, but like Rogue and Colossus. I was such a fan of the original Colossus design that I didn't hate it, but didn't think it was necessary for the change. But now I actually really like it. I mean, I'm all for different costumes and different eras. Why not? I love this. Like, Ileana's such a badass, and that shows that with some fun use of Zipatone right there. And I think, did we say that? Did I just glaze over the Chris Claremont? Oh, Bob Wiacek. Okay. Interesting. I had thought that Terry Austin would have been a better anchor for this, perhaps. Although I'm not going to say that because I did love Bob Wiacek's inks on Paul Smith for their actual run on the X-Men, which was amazing. I mean, it was just like kismet. It was like the stars aligned. It was perfect. I totally, like, Chris Claremont is doing like the Gambit miniseries, which, tells like Gambit and Storm's journey to him joining the X-Men, which was totally awesome. And the first issue was so good. I covered that if you guys want to scroll through my videos and find that. It was so good. It was so reminiscent of the past. But, Rick Leonardi and Chris were supposed to do like a Rachel miniseries. And I would love to see like her days as the Hound. I think we definitely need something like that. I mean, there seems to be a lot of buzz around these Chris Claremont books coming out, a lot of love for the Godfather of the X-Men, so I hope something like that would happen. John Byrne is, just famously a turd anyway, but I think he was, like, not overly joyed with the way Claremont handled the X-Men, but that famously, like, didn't see eye to eye on characters anyway, like, and that's part of the reason Byrne left the X-Men, so, big surprise there. But anyway, I mean, I kind of see it in a way, like, I really did love this series and think that for the most part, Claremont did really well. It seemed like there were a couple things that seemed a little bit off, but oh my god, how cool is that? The Asgard, like, this Paul Smith version is so cool. Paul Smith is such a great artist, like, his stuff on Doctor Strange is so majestic, and, like, this definitely is some killer art. Since at the time Heather didn't have like a costume, like, this is so funny that like she wore that. I can see John Byrne had drawn her in this sweater before. It's like, Heather, get a new outfit for the love of God. I love this version of Rogue's costume. You may say it's dated. Wolverine smoking, that's very dated. As of, 2004 or something, they couldn't smoke anymore. Jean-Paul, serving booty. That's Canada's ass right there, people. Thwip. I love that. Because Thwip is also Spider-Man's webbing sound effect. Rogue. I don't know that hair. I mean, it was all great. Great double-page spread. So cool. Love that. This is like such a great story. I mean, look at all these great character designs. Madeline Pryor. She's had some interesting iterations, from Asgardian goddess to Goblin Queen. Walter Langkowski. You know, not many people draw a good Sasquatch aside from John Byrne, and I have to say, I really do appreciate and think that Paul Smith did a great job here. I don't feel like we ever got like this era of Alpha Flight, like by Art Adams. It would have been so great to get like an Alpha Flight annual or like, I don't know, crossover or something. Sadly, no. Here we come. Yeah, Bob Wiacek and Friends anchors. This is an interesting page. Like, I'm feeling like, where is this coming from? Oh, is this just like from the actual book? But it just looks like they scanned it from like, I don't know, like a film or something. Like it looks a little off for some reason. Doesn't it look a bit fuzzy? And you can see some of the pixelation, almost like from a screen, which, because this would not have been originally colored digitally. So, and I don't think, like they list Bob Sharon probably most likely would have been the original colors. I like this. I like seeing like artist sketchbooks and comic books. Like I always think that's fun. You know, we have a gaggle of different inkers this issue, so the art does look a little choppy. I'm not going to speculate who the fronts are, but I'm definitely seeing like perhaps Joseph Rubinstein. That looks like Rubinstein for sure. This too. And that. Surprised he didn't get a credit. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't say 100%. It could be anyone, right? Tag team inkers. That always happened a lot, you know, because they were always pushing for deadlines. And my God, you know, like you're drawing to like 48 or, yeah, I mean, that's a lot. Like 96 pages to pencil and like they're waiting for pages to come in. This totally looks like it was inked by BWS, and that is freaking amazing. Oh my God, this has to be inked by BWS. Like you can just totally tell by the line work and the articulation, and I call it like the romantic style. So good. This looks great, actually. I mean, did I say, you know, I kind of actually, like, I feel like there's an Art Adams annual where there was, like, tag team inkers, too, and Mike Mignola was one of them, and it was actually very cool, so I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at the tag team inkers. Okay, that was a nice little interruption. Back to the book. Great covers. Snowbird as Sasquatch against Sasquatch. So cool. By the way, love that shot, that headshot of Aurora there. And I always love the Marvel head boxes. So cool, breaking the borders here. Bob Wiacek embellishing. Keith Williams inking assist. John Byrne, story and pencils. The art looks amazing. That's such a great splash page. I was always so dumbfounded when Snowbird took off her mask, and like she looks very much like an owl, like with her eyes and like her very low hairline. Very cool, like thought went into that design, because she does have a human identity as Anne Mackenzie as well. Love this. Puck just like flipping Elizabeth. I feel like they get a little flirty too. I could be wrong. I feel like big robots like that were popular at the time, and that's what's going on here. Perhaps was Byrne running out of ideas, I don't know. And this is the beginning of the end for Sasquatch right here. What a great panel. That looks so cool. I love that. So cool too. Love the Snowbird transformations. And she ain't messing around. She just like hardcore, just goes right for it. And Aurora, get off my man, you bitch. That's my Aurora impersonation. And then Sasquatch, like, this ain't your grandmother's Sasquatch anymore. Like, look at that crazy face. Like, I love the transformation. Like, it's so weird. I love it. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's a mixed bag. Like, some people really did not like Alpha Flight because of the like different tone of it, but that's what made me love it. I was like, I feel like, you know, like you have this group of Canadian superheroes, and you know, retroactively looking at them superficially, they're very archetypal and very kind of, they could be anything. And I just feel like they were just so quirky and cool, and like so many different angles that Byrne took with them, and like they could have been explored so much further. But I kind of like it. It's kind of like Twin Peaks, and we got like our 3 seasons, and you know, a lot of it, and you feel very unsatisfied in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways it was very artistically satisfying. Such a great cover here, issue 24. Hating the red trim, hating it. Story and pencils, John Byrne. Embellishing, Bob Wiacek. Coloring, Andy Younkus. Lettering, Rick Parker. Editing, Dennis O'Neill. Peacekeeper, Jim Shooter. Love this. This is like the kind of stuff, you know, like you don't need a big action shot of a superhero. Give me a great establishing shot like this big crater on this desolate earth with this storm going on, and I love it. The art looks beautiful here. Like, tell me that Bob Wiacek did not do a good job on this art here. Clop, that is so amazing. I love that. Iconic. Snowbird. No, actually, you're gonna stay and help us. We need your help, so I'm just gonna mentally make you do it. Wow. The wrongness of comic books. Love this. Like, so cool. I love the use of the duo shade. Like, just out of the blue. Like, probably the only place in the whole book. Maybe Byrne just had it on the table. Like, oh, I might do this with Namor one day, but maybe I'll try this out. Very cool. Oh my god, this looks so cool. I love that it's in black and white too. That looks freaking amazing. Very like Kirby and the design elements. It's so cool to have like the team be in color, and then this weird other world in black and white, and then here comes Tundra. I mean, John Byrne was quite accomplished on Alpha Flight. The first issue was a double-sized issue. He did every issue, writing and penciling, inking a fair amount, doing every single cover from 1 through 28. Issue number 1 was a double-sized, 12 was a double-sized, 24 was a double-sized, and I think that was it, yeah. But come on, man. Come on, man. Back in the day, like the rule, and it's funny because that's how long creative teams stayed on books. Every 25th issue was supposed to be like a double-sized issue. And John Byrne did issue 24, probably because he was a rebel. He probably just wanted to piss Shooter off and be like, no, it's sorry, my story lines up with 24. It's gotta be 24, which was fine with me. I love this Box effect. Box is such a cool character design too. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, as much as the thing I love about Alpha Flight is because I love the initial team, but I love the add-ons too. Like, I love Marina, I love Puck, I love Box, I love Talisman, the great villains, Gilded Lily, Nemesis, Deadly Ernest even. I mean, so great. What a great pinup here. Oh, for once, I have to say, the red cover looks cool here. Because this is what I mean. Like, it would have been like a bleed out. Pretty iconic image of Jean-Paul. I feel like that might be a t-shirt. The hair looks a little wonky sometimes, I guess. But, I mean, and that Aurora, that face. I mean, okay, sometimes the art could be, I don't know, a little rushed, but, you know, whatever. I'll take rushed John Byrne any day. I love the splash page there. That is so gorgeous. Up from Lazarus Box. Here's my bullshit story. You walked in on me. I exploded. Totally your fault. You killed me. Are you feeling guilty? Don't feel too guilty. I shrunk down to the size of the atom, went to a different dimension. The circuitry was fused to my body. I died. Some aquatic sea aliens brought me back to life. I'm in this really cool looking shit, and I'm living for this. John Byrne must have had so much fun drawing this. This is so, like, sci-fi. I love it. And then they frickin', you know, revitalized me. And then I came out of the water. And then I saw you. And I was too embarrassed to say nothing because she thought I was dead. And then I'm going to rip off my clothes. And a weird added part of the story is that they didn't know my human body from my robot exoskeleton. So they made both. And when when Mac first appeared, like, in the X-Men, he had more, like, of an afro, like, more curly hair. And it got, like, smoother in Alpha Flight. Look, washboard abs right there. Like, literal washboard abs. Like, a metal washboard. Great shot of box. Oh, my God, I love it. Like, look, this is why I was so disappointed that, you know, Guardian got killed off, because the best costume design, and, like, how iconic is that? I just love it. This is, like, Canada. Oh, my God. Of course I did that. Canada's, like, premier superhero right there, and you're going to disrespect him by making him explode. Great double page spread. I love it. I love the down shot. I love that they're fighting the GoBots. So much fun. Aurora, I was getting taken out, like, almost immediately. Like, you are the weakest link. As much as I love her, like, why are you gonna disrespect Aurora like that? And just, like, I don't know. I guess she's impetuous. And you think she would've... I want to see her be, like, fierce for once. Because she is fierce and I love her. And oh my God, speaking of fierce... Diamond frickin' Lil. I mean, what a great character that is. Like, she's kind of like the Harley Quinn of the Marvel Universe. Like, that needs to happen. Diamond Lil. You're the Harley Quinn of the Marvel Universe, just because, you know, the deck of cards thing happening, like the Joker, the diamonds. Wild Child. I love him for, like, just because I love all the characters that John Byrne creates, but he was just always so kooky. And how disappointing was this? Sorry, Heather, but yeah, no, I'm not back alive. I'm really Delphine Courtney still. Obviously with a different chest plate this time. But, you know, here it is. Betrayal. I love this cover, inked by Byrne. It looks so good. Oh, I love the hatching on this. The art is so amazing. And it's such, like, John Byrne draws the best, like, evil robots. Very, like, science fiction-y. John Byrne's inking the figures, and Keith Williams is doing the backgrounds. And that's one of my favorite art combos. I love them in the mall setting here. Gamma Flight, or I guess are they Omega Flight at this point? Looks so great. My beloved Aurora, getting her ribs taped up from that encounter. Great hatching here. Looks so good. Snowbird, iconic. So many iconic shots of Snowbird from Byrne throughout this run. Oh my God, I love this too. That is so cool. Evil Guardian. I guess, like, you just had, like, another rubber face laying around after you ripped the other one off. And this is, like, this is the genius of John Byrne right here. Like, he's always coming up with these really clever things to happen. It's like you've had, you know, Shaman around for 27 issues, and this is the first time this has happened. Guardian, like, and what a mistake, turns the Shaman's Mary Poppins carpet bag purse pouch inside out, and, like, unleashes this, like, other dimension that envelops Aurora. And the colors here look really freaking cool, I have to say. Which did not look so good in the original print run. Oh my God, this is so cool. I love this talisman, like, going through the void, looking for Aurora. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. I love it. Such a different look for, like, John Byrne. He, like, incorporated so many different elements into this. I think, like, Alpha Flight is, like, an you know, unsung hero of, like, artistic beauty. And here's from Secret Wars 2. Very cool. Al Milgrom, Steve Lealoha, and Joseph Rubinstein inkers. I love this. I love any appearance of Alpha Flight at this time. They're just, like, it was such a great time. I know a lot of people lament Secret Wars too, but I thought it was great. I'm so glad they include that because, ironically, the last Byrne issue, he must have been so pissed, and that must have been part of his reason too. He hated being forced into crossovers, and so this is Secret Wars 2. But I felt like, like, look at the FF Secret Wars 2 story, like Hero. Like, it does not get more classic than that. This is such a great cover, too. I love it. I love, like, very comic booky, like, very... And the art just looks great. I'm sorry. I don't care if he looks like David Hasselhoff. I feel like that's a good thing right now. The colors are so weird and bright. Puck looks amazing. I love the Hulk looming in the background. I love John Byrne's run on the Hulk. I covered it in another video. Stanley presents John Byrne Words and Pictures. Keith Williams inking assist. Gamma Flight looks so cool. Omega Flight. Andy Yonkis, Rick Parker, Denny O'Neil, Jim Shooter. Madison Jeffries, another great sort of like second tier character who could control mechanics. I love this silhouette. The art looks so cool here. Oh yeah, because he can control mechanics. He basically makes Delphine Courtney like dismantle herself. Like, that is so cool. I love that. That's very like hardcore sci-fi in a way. I mean, speak of David Hasselhoff. We're like Byrne, come on. You just were watching Baywatch or Knight Rider and just like draw and like hit pause on the Betamax or VHS, whatever. Love that. I love Heather's glasses. Great shot of the twins. Just drinking in the art. So amazing. Love Alpha Flight. Oh, this is so cool. Talisman, like flipping the F out. Like, I don't know. Like, so many weird things happen post-Byrne that just ruin the team. And it makes me sad. Like, I would have loved if Byrne would have stayed on for like another year or two. Just to see what would have happened. You know what I'm saying, people? Very iconic shot there. Love that. The Mo Howard haircut. Peace from Byrne. 313 of the Hulk. Like, why isn't this included? But I'm so glad it is. Like, I mean, I'll take Mike Mignola art any day. And I feel like Jerry Teleok, while a good inker, may not have been the best inker for Mike Mignola at the time. I think that might have colored my perception in a way of his art. I think he was definitely good for someone like Sal Buscema on the Hulk. Although, I mean, a lot of this looks very cool and iconic. I mean, like, you know, Mike Mignola, like, lamented drawing superheroes, which is, you know, ironic that, you know, Alpha Flight was one of his earliest gigs, and I don't think he necessarily wanted to do it. He wasn't on for a long time. But Hulk is obviously very cool. That looks cool. I mean, in retrospect, like, I love John Byrne so much, so anyone replacing him was going to be horrible in my eyes, and this definitely seemed horrible to me at the time. But once again, I feel like even the difference between the cover inked by Wiacek and the interior inked by Teleok, I'm thinking I like the Wiacek better. Not that I hate this, but I hated it at the time. Did anyone else feel that way? I'm sure they did. Like, you know, Byrne victims, Byrne heads, of course we're going to be upset. But retroactively, and I did grow on me very quickly. I did love it. Like, there's a lot of iconic covers during Mignola's run, and I kind of would love to have like some more Alpha Flight post-Byrne omnibuses. I think they deserve it. And that was like, but that was the end for me, you know what I mean? Although I guess I hung until the end because I basically there was 120 issues, 28 with Byrne, this was 29. So, you know, it's kind of crazy, but I did stick with it through, I think I only missed a couple, and like key issues, like when North Star came out, like I think it sold out and I missed out on it, and that annoyed me because like you hang on till the bitter end. Like you're the only person buying it at like issue 103, 104, and then this like newsworthy one comes out and buttholes across the world buying it just to be, you know, speculators or whatever. What is this from? Survivors, Ben Rabb, John Cassidy, co-writers, John Cassidy, artist. So, was this like, I mean, very cool. Very Terry Dodson looking, right? I mean, I'll take that. I love Terry Dodson art, but I guess it is John Cassidy in a way, right? I mean, it's him in all ways, so. And it looks good. I like it. I don't know why this is included, but here's what I'm talking about. Like, gorgeous, iconic, heroic. That looks amazing. I love it. Actually, I love seeing this. I'm seeing a lot of Adam Hughes in here, too. Like, Adam Hughes, X-Men Wildcats era. So I don't think I read this before, and I love it. Like, this is definitely influenced by that. Sorry, call you out, John Cassidy, but this is basically Adam Hughes' version of the X-Men from the X-Men Wildcats, so, which is gorgeous. I hope I come across that in my collection soon, because definitely would love to cover that. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is really gorgeous, but I just see the heavy influences, and I mean, he's definitely come into his own, so this must be, oh, X-Men Alpha Flight miniseries, you know, obviously before. Wow, that's really cool, though. I love that. Like, very iconic. Sasquatch's head is a little too large, proportionately. Everyone's a critic, right? But hey, MichaelFitzTroytv comic book art critiques. You know what I'm talking about. Don't make me say it. Very cool. I love that shot. Where are we going with all this great, gorgeous John Cassidy art? I do like it. Because, I mean, let's face it, that X-Men Wildcats by Adam Hughes. Choice. It's so beautiful. Alpha Flight. Super iconic. When are you getting your due, Alpha Flight? I want Scott Dunbier, if you're watching, if anyone knows him. I need this Alpha Flight X-Men Artist Edition by John Byrne. This is so iconic. This is what I've been waiting to talk about. This is what I wanted for the cover of Alpha Flight #1. But I feel like since it was used in promo house ads and the cover of Marvel Age #2, like maybe they didn't want to confuse people, and that's why we got the cover we got. But this, I mean, I had a t-shirt of this. It was yellow, unfortunately. But so good. Like, this is my absolute favorite image of Alpha Flight right there. So iconic, so gorgeous. It should have been the cover. It's beautiful. If we get that artist edition, Dunbier, let this be the cover. Let that be the light. Here's the article for Marvel Age #2. I'm so glad, like, this is finally in my hands. Like, it's almost over. I'm so glad I got to share this with you guys. Also, very iconic cover here. Like, I don't even know how, if they did this on purpose, if Paul Smith knew. He must have, right? But the way he worked that in perfectly with Sasquatch's back, like, this is iconic. This should be a t-shirt. This should be a poster. This is beautiful. Like, the art is flawless here. Paul Smith inking himself. Oh, the Marvel Age interview with John Byrne. Kind of have to read that. No time for it now, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, so good. This is so cool. I had this portfolio set. I lost so many good things. I want to cry. But it was so beautiful. Steve Faster and Rich Larson, like, famous. Like, I feel like that it was, like, airbrush. Because, you know, of course, this could be done digitally very easily. Not easily, but, you know. But it's pretty impressive that it was kind of airbrush. And, like, I just love this so much because it's kind of wonky and different. And such a cool take. Vulcan Bulletins. Alpha Flight looks so cool and iconic right there. This, one of my all-time favorite images as well. The cover of Amazing Heroes. I'm breathless. Oh my god, whatever. This looks so cool. Comic Buyer's Guide. See, this would have been like an iconic cover for #1 too. I had this Alpha Flight poster, so I'm glad this is included here. It makes me feel better about not having the poster anymore. Unless it's in a box in Ohio, I don't know. Marie Severin from Alpha Flight #6, Assistant Editors Month Fun. House ad for subscriptions featuring Alpha Flight. So cool and iconic. I love it. Print from a John Byrne X-Men portfolio featuring Alpha Flight. Ken Stacy's beautiful, beautiful shot of Guardian from Marvel Fanfare 23, apparently. Oh my god, the color on that is so beautiful. Like, you can almost feel the chill in the air. Like, Ken Stacy was so great. Artist from the 80s, a lot of Kamiko, and oh, just, I could go on. Great, amazing Heroes cover, penciled by Mignola, inked by Byrne. You know, Mignola and Byrne worked together a lot, and I feel like there was like a great, you know, relationship rapport. See, this scan just looks kind of terrible. I'm guessing they didn't have the original art or film or something because it looks a little fuzzy. But how sad for Byrne and Mantlo and Mignola swapping teams on Hulk and Alpha Flight. Big deal at the time, right? Byrne's contributions to later issues of Alpha Flight, covers only, like, but who could ask for anything better? Like, it's so cool. Like, apparently, like, you know, if you don't ask, you don't know. They just asked Byrne to do his colors, and he was like, okay, fine. Like, I think he'd be rolling over in his grave, living grave, knowing, like, that they were turning, like, North Star and Aurora into elves and making them not mutants and ruining them further. Don't get me started on the ruination of one of my favorite comic books. Great, iconic for Marvel Universe. So beautiful. I love the shot of Aurora. Like, this is classic. That's like, so these are all just so classic. They look amazing. Love that shot of Pink Pearl. That is so cool. The cover for #1. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks so good. I love it. But you know what I'm saying. Oh my god, yes, yes. And what did I just say about Art Adams drawing Alpha Flight? Although, you know, we got, like, I think, like, the cover of the Asgardian War, so we got a glimpse. And then this. Maybe there is a little more, but loving that. I remember dying when this came out. Like, it was, like, a dream come true. Very cool. Kieran Dwyer, Carrie Gamil. Very fun. I mean, it helps that they're inked by Austin. It's like that bridge it sort of needs. Steve Lytle, rest in peace. Beautiful art. Love it. Looks so good. Wendigo. Very cool. Dave Cockrum. I mean, that's more Art Adams. Like, I love that, but it was like too much of like a small glimpse, you know. This made me want Art Adams Alpha Flight all the more. Hate this recolor. This airbrush look looks terrible with John Byrne's art. Very disappointing for the trade paperbacks, which I try to, you know, like, Alpha Flight is one of those things, you know how, like, you love certain things so much that you collect, like, multiples, whatever. Like, this is actually, don't be confused if you see other reviews from me. Like, one's like the Italian omnibus, you know, I've done like individual issues and trade paperbacks. This is the third and final part of the Omnibus Volume 1 by John Byrne. So good, love it. So hard to find. It is so amazing, so worth it. Just, I cannot obviously go on and on enough about my love of Alpha Flight. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to comment. Please subscribe to my channel, hit like, share my content, all that good stuff, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.